Hey everybody, welcome back. Today's Bible story is one of my favorite in the Old Testament with David and Saul and sneaking in a cave. There's just a lot of good stuff going on. So if you haven't watched the video yet, go and watch the video and then come back. So welcome back. No, most of you probably just stayed. That's pretty great. All through January, we've been talking about self-control, which is choosing to do what you should even when you don't feel like it. We've been talking about our Bible verse from 2 Peter 1:3, which says that God's power gives you everything you need to live a godly life. We talked the first week about how you should be ready to do the right thing, and you know what that is by having a relationship with God, reading the Bible, praying. And we talked last week about how if we lose control, it causes trouble, sometimes for ourselves and sometimes for others. So it's important for us to be able to have self-control in the moment so we don't add extra trouble for us and those around us. We talked about building strong walls of self-control to keep us and others safe too. This week, we're talking all about how we shouldn't be controlled by our anger, which is hard because anger is an incredibly big emotion. I mean, anger helps us know when a boundary has been crossed by ourselves or by someone else. Anger has its place, but anger shouldn't control us. We need to have self-control that's stronger than our emotions, like David did in the story. Saul had been incredibly mean, cruel, and unkind to David, and David had a chance to take revenge and even a chance to keep himself safe if he could just bring himself to murder Saul, like some people had encouraged him to do. But David wasn't controlled by his anger. In fact, there are ways that you can use when you're feeling those strong emotions like anger to calm yourself down. And today we're going to make a dice game out of it. Now, it might be silly to talk about a dice game, but when you practice things before, it helps you be better at them in the moment. So I need you to take a piece of paper and something to write on and to make numbers 1 through 6. And we're going to think of 6 ways that we can control our anger in the moment. Some of these ways can be silly if we want, but some of these ways can be serious. One of my favorite ways to control my anger is by taking deep, slow breaths. Because when I breathe really fast, I get really anxious and I get these muscle tensions building up. But when I slow my breathing down, my body relaxes and it helps me to control my body, which helps me control my breathing. So I'm going to write 1, slow breathing. Oh, and that leads me to number 2, which is loosen muscles or stretch. I'll put stretch. Oh, I'm also going to write pause because you have to take a moment to realize that you're getting upset. And then in that moment, you have to pause and think about how you can calm yourself down. So I'm going to write pause. Now, why don't you take a minute and think about some others that would help you when you are getting really upset? And I'll keep filling mine out, but why don't you pause the video? And when you've got 4, 5, and 6, or 1, 2, and 3, if you don't like any of my suggestions, come back and we'll continue with the activity. Welcome back. While you paused the video, I went ahead and I finished my 4, 5, and 6. And your list can look totally different from mine, and that's okay. We happen to be different people. My 4 is pray. I can ask God to help me be kind when I am angry. I can ask him to help me not be angry. I can ask God to help me be wise with my anger. Pray. My 4 is walk away. Sometimes I am so upset that I need to tell someone, I am so upset, I'm going to walk away right now, but I'll see you later when we can talk about it. Sometimes you can't even get the words right, and so you just need to close your mouth and walk away. And then number 6 is ask for help. Sometimes when I'm really upset, I need to talk about why I'm upset with someone else, and someone else can help me figure out how to handle my big emotions. I'm probably not talking about it with the person I'm hugely upset with, but I also, if I'm able to talk and not yell, maybe I am. So I can ask someone for help and to listen and help me talk through how I feel. Now, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 for me. And there are rolls of the dice here. And so I'm going to give a situation, and then I'm going to roll the dice, and I will tell you which one of these I would do based on the roll of the dice. Now, it could be really funny if sometimes they don't match, but if the more you practice something, the more you think about it, the more successful you'll be able to be doing it when the time happens. So, a sibling takes the remote control or the game control device when I'm in the middle of a level. What am I gonna do? 1, looks like I'm going to breathe slowly, because I can imagine my initial reaction would have been like, Katie, what are you doing? You just wanted me to lose. And then I could take a big deep breath, and maybe then I'll be able to respond like, dude, so uncool. Give that back, please. And then maybe I wouldn't be yelling at her because I'll be more in control of me. All right, another situation. What if, I just got done cleaning and a sibling comes in and makes a huge mess of it, and then mom and dad comes in and says, why didn't you clean up when I asked you to clean up? What am I going to do? 2, stretch. Can you imagine? Like, mom and dad come in and they're like, why didn't you clean this up? And I'll be like,
hey, just so you know, I did, but Abby messed it up again.
I'm going to need a minute. Can you imagine what that would look like? And yet, I didn't yell because I was controlling my body in a different way. All right, let's do a third scenario. We're having mashed potatoes and gravy for dinner again, and everybody knows that I hate mashed potatoes and gravy for dinner again. What am I going to do? 6. Ask for help. Ooh. So I could go talk to someone I trust and say, hey, I'm having a hard time not being angry about having mashed potatoes and gravy. And then someone could help me like, dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you hated mashed potatoes and gravy that much. I'd be like, I know. I wish I could eat pizza. And they'd be like, me too. Why can't we have pizza? And then mom and dad would be like, because we can't have pizza. Just eat the mashed potatoes. And I'd be like, but I didn't lose my temper. I didn't hurt mom or dad's feelings because they spent a lot of time working on that awesome mashed potatoes and gravy. I was able to control myself and talk to someone and ask for help. So these are kind of silly games and exercises. But in the moment, if you practice them, if you think about them, you'll get better at them. Because no one likes getting in trouble just for having strong emotions. So learning how to deal with strong emotions in a healthy way is a great way to practice self-control and is a great way to exercise how God's power and the Holy Spirit can give us everything we need to live a godly life. See you next week.